Today we're going through the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. Let's jump into it. Okay, so it says the first few tattoos I did were horrendous, but I think I picked it up pretty quickly. So we're gonna go through, this is clearly someone learning how to tattoo at their house, and we're gonna kind of go through and critique their progress as shown in this reel. I started getting braver and moving on to more complex designs. So obviously the first few tattoos we saw were horrendous, like this person mentioned. One thing that people think about in tattoos is like, I have to progress. And I have to progress like, it goes like this to this to this to this and this. Where realistically, if you're learning how to tattoo at home, you should just stay here, right here. And obviously, I do not condone people learning how to tattoo out of their house or by themselves or without an apprenticeship. But like, just reality is people are gonna get tattooed at home and learn how to tattoo at home. This is the one quick tip I got for you. Do more of the small things for as long as you possibly can because you are not qualified to do anything else. And if you get better at the fundamentals, everything else will be a lot easier. But most people go like, like I'm gonna do harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. And it's like, stupid, dumb way of thinking about it. Because if you haven't mastered one step, you're not gonna make it to the second step. And the 100th step you try to make it to, you're gonna screw up. And obviously every tattoo we've seen so far has been a big pile of crap. So let's continue. Tattooing yourself is harder than it looks, but wanted to try color properly. Trust me, you're not learning color properly. This is like him tattooing himself or her, I don't know, don't care. Crap, all of it looks like crap. All the designs look like crap, exactly what you'd expect from an apprentice or someone learning how to tattoo. Okay, so let's stop on that traditional rose. Not the worst rose I've ever seen by far, but that shading, look like the black shading, so muddy, so rough, so crappy. You could tell that they don't know where to end and where to start. Exactly what you'd expect from a young, crappy tattooer. Let's see if they get any better. Lighthouse, that's what I'm talking about. Like that lighthouse, year 2 tattooer, where like this young person who doesn't know how to tattoo is attempting it. Way too hard. That's step 15, you're at step 1. Doing step 15 is not gonna get you closer to step 100. Like, no. That looks all right for learning. I think for being completely self-taught, I didn't do bad. And with the proper mentor, I could have gone further. Yes, with the proper mentor, some of those tattoos look all right. The majority look like crap. And you got a lot of friends who have a lot of crappy looking tattoos. There was like one in there. What's the best tattoo of these piles of crap that I see? Might be the star compass thing. Like that looks like crap the way they shaded it. That might be the best tattoo that they've done. But that's what do we talk about? Like as a tattooer, any tattooer is gonna do a lot of crappy tattoos. If you're a self-taught home tatter, you're gonna do 20 times the amount of crap tattoos, which just means like all your friends, they got your crappy tats, okay? Don't learn at home, and if you are, stick to the little things for as long as possible. Next. So I've seen this going viral, this idea of like tattoo industry propaganda I'm not falling for. This was one that I could pinpoint and go through and really talk crap on. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it. So it says tattoo industry propaganda I'm not falling for. So it's obviously things that are said in tattooing that they do not believe. Good for them. Think for yourself. I think it's great. But, you know, I also think you're wrong in almost all of these. So, colored tattoos don't suit darker skin. Okay, so that's like a really funky way of phrasing that. By saying like you don't suit darker skin, it kind of makes you feel like we're saying that it's not meant for darker skin. In this like, or we don't think that they look good with darker skin. So like, that's kind of a weird way of phrasing this. I would say she thinks the darker skinned people can get colored tattoos. And I would just simply say that they can do whatever they want. If you have dark skin and you want colored tattoos, absolutely, go for it. Do I think they don't look as good as all black tattoos on darker skin? Absolutely, 100%. And you know, anybody who really says differently, go look at their portfolio. See how many times they tattooed color into dark-skinned people and how good it looks. And how many filters did they have to use to try and even show up most of the dark color. I'm sorry. The darker your skin goes, the worse colors look in the skin. Just fun facts. I don't love it either. You can be upset about it. I'm upset about it. I wish that everyone could have all the beautiful things that they want. Like the beautiful thing is too, like the limitations of only being able to get dark tattoos makes the tattoos look very nice. So, you know, get dark tattoos, it's cool if you got dark skin. Propaganda, I'm not falling for. Artists dating their clients. So I'm gonna guess that they're saying that they don't agree with tattooers dating clients. You might have the opposite opinion of that because the way she phrased that isn't real clear. I think that there is something weird about tattooers who date clients on a more like Tindery kind of way. Obviously, I think that that's really weird. I've never been that guy in tattooing who wanted to date or pretty much fool around with clients. I have in the past, like for a short period. It just feels weird to me. I don't know why. More probably on the business side of it. I'm like, I'd rather make the money than like screw up my pockets by dating around, especially when, you know, I could just not date clients because it's like 99.9% of the world. But yeah, I think there's a different scenario if like someone's like, hey, I want to date this person who I'm tattooing. I'm like, okay, whatever. There's a person in my head who dates clients and it's like, you're just looking for an easy lay and I just kind of don't like that. Like, especially as a business owner, if my tattooers know there's a rule, you can't screw around with clients at all, ever, not even a little bit. It's a rule I have. I will happily fire people who break that rule because I'm like, yeah, you're messing with my money and there's one thing you don't do in my shop and that's mess with my money. So yeah, taking breaks is weak. I don't think taking breaks is weak. I just think they're a pain in the butt for everybody involved. I don't think they really help anybody ever. Like maybe a client who really needs one, a 2-second break, it might help them overcome the pain, but a lot of times they should probably just be done getting tattooed if they're like at the end of it, right? Get it over with as fast as you can because like breaks oftentimes make the tattoo feel worse. Hand tattoos before sleeves. I'm gonna guess she's saying, the way she phrases, the way they phrase this could go any other way. If you only have hand tattoos, you look like a dork. It just aesthetically looks bad. Not much else to it. Anesthesia for tattoos, yeah, that's a dumb thing. Rotary pens are lesser than coils. I don't agree. I think rotary pens are just as good as coils. I think there's something cool about a tattooer who really understands coil machines. Like they can break them down, they can fix them. I think that that's part of tattooing. I think that if you don't know, you should probably learn and get better at that. Safe spaces are ruining tattooing. I don't think safe spaces are doing anything to tattooing, but when I walk into safe space tattoo shops, I do feel kind of like, what is the point of this other than to show to everybody else that you have a safe space of a tattoo shop? You know, reversely, if it's not a safe space at the tattoo shop, you should get out of tattooing anyways. But regardless, when someone promotes their shop as a safe space, I'm like, ugh, how exhausting is this? I have to be careful of everything I say in these types of shops. And it's not even that I'm like that offensive of a person, but like they put this pressure on you to make it a safe space, which really just makes it unsafe feeling for me. I go, ugh, and what a privileged white person's opinion of that. And yes, I acknowledge what you're going to say. I don't care. I don't care. Safe spaces are not safe spaces for everybody a lot of times. And I don't think they're ruining tattooing because there's like 3 safe space tattoo shops I could even think of. But yeah, and wiping without gloves, you should wear gloves when you wipe. That's it. Next. Oh my God. This is not a safe space for that tattoo on the forehead. I don't think, I'm not even paying attention to anything else this person's saying. I just freeze it right there and be like, oh, what are we looking at? Okay. Of all the face tats in all the face tat world, this has got to be the worst. I'm sticking with that. I hate it. There's nothing cool about that. Maybe if there was just one, let me block one. Maybe if it was just one, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't say it was cool. I'd just be like, oh, it's a tattoo. But the 2 makes me hate it. Too much symmetry on a place that looks like it needs no symmetry. It's your forehead. It's symmetrical. We do not need more of it. I am so confused by this tattoo. The tattoo looks pretty well executed for a face tattoo. Like even this is the type of client who like walks in there like, I want tiger claws on my forehead. And I go, okay, are you sure you want both of them? And they go, yeah, I want them to match. And I go, oof. Whoa. This is an MMA fighter. You know, it's not very common for MMA fighters to get face tattoos to stand out like a rapper would. Because, you know, like in rapping, having face tattoos might be an asset. It might help propel your career forward. Because like it's an art and you can't really judge whether you're good at that art or not. But like in fighting, like your fighting should just speak for itself, you know? And if it don't, you're not good at it, no one's gonna care about you. And this, I'm about to cry. No, I got something, I've been filming a lot. No, I got, no good. No bueno. Next. First portrait as a 19-year-old tattoo apprentice. Hey, tattoo apprentice, I think that's cool. 19 years old, that's when you should be an apprentice. Not really, it's a good time to be an apprentice. I'm gonna judge her tattoo. This is her first portrait. And I saw the end result and I was pleasantly surprised. So this one is done by Sophie Rose Tattoo. She's an apprentice. She put this out there. That's pretty damn good for an apprentice tattoo. Like her first portrait, very nice. She definitely is learning how to tattoo portrait-y style black and gray. There's a few things that I noticed that were like, hey, the hair is completely blacked out from the bottom to here, and then there's tons of texture in here. Maybe that's a mistake. Or actually, I know it's a mistake. It looks like a mistake. It looks kind of harsh to our eyes. But overall, I was like, that's pretty good, dude. For an apprentice to tattoo like this, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not great at portraits. It's not something I've ever tried to be a specialist in. If I had to sit down and do this tattoo, it might not look that much better. Like I would love to sit here and be like, yes, I would do it so much better than this apprentice. And I think that most tattooers who sat down and looked at this tattoo would be like, oh, I would do it better for sure. Like obviously, I've been tattooing someone's mind. But realistically, like I'm not practiced in portraits at all. I actually like am probably never been that good at it. Mine probably would look exactly the same as this. Maybe I would have made smarter choices compositionally, maybe. Like not composition wise, but like just like how much black I used in those spots, because that was the first thing I noticed and it just like stuck out to me. Not bad. Not bad at all. Good for her. Big ups, dude. I think maybe you get better. Yeah, that would be nice if you're better at this because you're crushing it already. Apprentices, dude. What a joke. These apprentices taking their jabs. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for this one. On to the next. Okay, we got some blackout work by Betos Tattoo. Betos. Tattoo, I would guess is how they pronounce it. Not Betos, stupid Kirk. Looking like a dumb gringo. Betos. Yeah, super cool blackout stuff. I mean, dude, let's just pause it right here. Like that previous stuff looks so dumb looking, you know, for what it was. It's just tattoos. Tattoos look dumb on some people because they get dumb tattoos. Like that guitar, dumb. The girl, dumb. Like a lot of that tattoo just looks dumb and weak, and they blasted over this. Looks like a completely new person. And obviously this face stuff, like, I don't like it. Clearly this person's committed to getting tattooed, so like I'm not that upset about it. But yeah, kind of cool. Good for him. Betos Tattoo did some amazing work, and that blackout blast over thing worked. Yeah. I'm in. Super cool. It just like changed his whole body. Like I just feel like I'm looking at something cool when I was looking at something pretty whack, pretty lame. You know, and now it just looks strong. So yeah, hey, big ups. I'm in. I'm there for it. On to the next. Oh my God. Tatted by Naya. Naya, stop tatting. It should say, stop tatting Naya, please, for the love of God. What am I looking at? Hemorrhoids? that say, cry now, see no evil, what is it? See no evil, hear no evil, say no evil. It just looks like hemorrhoids. Or at least that's what I think is developing in my butt as I'm talking about this. God, dude, just quit. Just quit. You know, like, I mean, that's the lesson here. Like, if you're this bad of a tattooer and you're doing this type of crap on people, like, let it go. Let it go. I hate to be the person to be like, hey, all your dreams shouldn't come true. Maybe your dreams should change, okay? If that is the type of tattoo you're putting on people permanently forever, that's the thing. Like, every time I'm kind of mean to a person on this platform, I have to remind myself, like, hey, you're being a dick. Like, you're saying something mean. Give up on all your dreams. Like, that's a gnarly thing for a human to say to someone else. And then I have to, like, go through that step, and then I go like, oh yeah, at the end of the day, someone has to wear that. Give up on your dreams. Like, saying give up on your dreams is not nearly as mean as you doing that tattoo on this person. I have to do some mental gymnastics out here in this world to prevent crap tattooers from doing crappy tats. Okay? That's actually the thought. You probably saw it 2 seconds ago. I was like, ooh, that's really mean for you to say, Kirk, because I'm not like, I don't try to be a mean guy, but I'm like, yeah, that's so bad what they're doing to people. Like, someone's got to walk around with this like hemorrhoid looking, hear no evil, see no evil, say no evil forever. And like, yeah, they're not innocent in this. Like, they asked for it. They had it coming to them. But still, there's a tattooer who had to go do it. And that's the person I reject as a human being. POV, you sucked at tattooing. I did not plan this, but I can take that last piece of conversation and lead it into this. Look, if you suck at tattooing, there are plenty of different ways to make money as an artist. They're not always easy. They're not always going to work. And clearly, you're not as talented as this inked rug person. I don't know who they are at all, but I just want to pause it on that golden dragon for a moment and tell you, you can make money using tattoo art in different ways. And that is like one of the coolest looking rugs I have ever seen. This is what I like seeing. There was a guy named Steen Jones. Steen Jones? Is that his name? Yes, Steen Jones, I believe an Australian painter, and like probably wanted to be a tattooer at some point, used tattoo imagery and made amazing wall paintings. And this is like very similar to that because like he wanted to be a tattooer, it didn't work out because he was crappy at it. Now he makes rugs, and this is a phenomenal looking rug. Every single one of them, some are a little tacky to me, but that's not a big deal. It's just me. You know, like the panther with the hearts, I go like, but I bet that one sold, you know, because like generally I'm not the person buying a rug. Like, it's tattoo clients, and so they're getting things that they like. And that's usually things I think sometimes look tacky because I'm a tattooer and not a tattoo getter person, you know, client as much anymore. But yeah, super cool. Inked rugs, get it while it's hot. 10% off, what is this deal? 10% off first order and free shipping. Hey, go get a rug from this person. They look cool probably. Next.
You know what's crazy though? My tattoos look good, don't they? I did them on myself. Man, listen, this cover up shit. I had a name right here. I covered that up. I had stitches right here. I covered that up, like tattoo stitches. I covered that till I couldn't do it.
Sorry if you don't hear what he's actually saying because he cusses a lot in this clip, but no, they do not look good.
You know what's crazy though? My tattoos look good, don't they? I did them on myself. Man, listen, this cover up shit. I had a name right here. I covered that up. I had stitches right here. I covered that up, like tattoo stitches. I covered that till I couldn't do it, but I did it, and I wanted it to look gothic because that's the type of dope. This was a bit. I went through the tattoo removal process for about 9 months, but they only...
Wow. I've never seen someone more proud of a big pile of crap in my entire life. It's like a little kid walking out, taking his first dookie into a bowl and being celebrated by his parents, okay? These tattoos do not look good, right? Just don't do tattoos at home, and don't do tattoos on your own face at home because they're gonna look like crap and you're gonna look like this, jabroni. These tattoos look awful. There's like a version of this exact things that look good and it's not on his face, okay? They look bad. We all have eyes. His aren't working because he's dumb, but yours do, and you know that they look bad. So don't be that, don't do that. On to the next. Okay, this is one of the more unique tribal looking tattoos I have ever seen. I do not know in what style they are made. I don't really can't pinpoint it at all, but they look cool. Whoever did them, maybe it was black on black tattoo, I don't know. They did an excellent job. Good for them. It looks so unique and so weird and so right because they did it well that's it. That's it. I don't know. Maybe I need to put a black bar over the butt. Sorry guys, I was kind of like just obsessed with this tattoo, just like looking at it. If you know what kind of style that is, leave it in the comments. If you want to Google it for me so that you could kind of get an idea. I have no idea. It almost looks fake. It's crazy. Beautiful, cool tattooing, done in a weird, unique style that I am not familiar with, which rarely happens because I'm a tat daddy and I know everything except for this. I have no clue. Super cool, really weird. It works. Next. Okay, we got a spider in the ear. I think that if you were to watch this clip, you'd be like, tattooing an ear is very difficult because the lines look pretty scratchy in the middle of the clip. It looks, and the final product's all right, but like it does look really scratchy going into it. And so if your thought is like, oh, tattooing that part of the ear must be very difficult, it is. It's extremely difficult. Do I like it? I don't hate this, right? Because it's just like a black silhouette thing. It definitely looks good by the end. It was an extremely hard tattoo to pull off. I know that. It looks all right. Looks all right. I have this ability. Whenever I say something nice, I want to say something negative. It's a superpower of mine that makes this channel worth watching for a lot of people. And I'm gonna try and contain it at this moment. Those legs look like they're one leg that is becoming four legs, okay? They look like it's like, right? Like it's all coming from the exact same point. And I know what they were trying to do. It was trying to be like, kind of like, oh, it's got this like angle to it. That's not what it looks like. What it looks like is like one exit point turning into four legs, and that just looks bad. It's not the type of thing most people are gonna pick up on right away. Maybe you guys are looking at me and being like, hey, Kirk, you're an idiot for everything and it looks good. Maybe that's the case. Yeah, no, that looks bad. That looks so bad. Now that I see that massive flaw, and like obviously one leg is like so stretched, I made a mistake. I wasn't gonna be too harsh on it. Now I gotta be extra harsh on it because I finally see. The Lord has given me eyes and I can see once again for all of you. Yeah, it looks like trash, dude, actually. Sorry, you made a reel of it. Next. So it says, this is how much I made on Friday the 13th as a tattoo artist.
I did numbers, I wrote everything down. I started at 9 a.m., got done at 10 p.m. I'm gonna put the pictures right here for you guys. First client got 2 tattoos, $140, $10 tip. Second client got 1 tattoo, $60, $10 tip. Third client got 2 tattoos, $140, $20 tip. Fourth client got 3 tattoos, $220, a $20 tip.
Okay, I'm gonna skip forward. Those seem like very reasonable prices to me. Yep. Normal. I wanna skip to the end.
End of the day, got 1 tattoo, $60, and a $10 tip, with my grand total of $1,665. After minusing everything, I probably made a profit about $1,300, which is fucking amazing. The point of Friday.
Okay, it says, keep in mind we are a $100 minimum shop. We have a total of 8 artists working. Every artist tattooed each other's flash. Prices were decided per artist. We decided not to do $31 round, blah, blah, blah. Tattoo flash varied from $60 to $100, which I think is pretty normal for tattoos, especially, you know, in LA, San Diego, California, probably any major city. Tattoos were probably $60 to $100. We just came out of Friday the 13th. It was a big deal in America. It always is a big deal. I like it. It's fun. It was always a good day of tattooing. And she walked away with $1,300 for 10 hours, 11 hours of work. That's a pretty good take home. That's like probably half of her rent, maybe her whole rent, depending if she rents or whatever. That's a good day. It's a long day and it's a crappy day. I hated those days, but I also liked it because you kind of get in this rhythm of tattooing where you're like, bang it, bang it, bang, bang, bang. You just start hustling them out. You're chatting it up. People know, they're like, get in, get out. This is a tattoo day. We're doing nothing but goofing off and doing tats. Good for her. That's a great take home. Her drop is interesting the way she explained it. 16, she lost 300 on that drop. That's a pretty good drop. Okay, yeah, so in case you're wondering what a drop is, if you're not familiar with the lingo, that's like how much she paid her shop. So like obviously they take a percentage of every tattoo. That's how most tattoo shops work, especially in this type of scenario. Some tattoo shops will do, you pay booth rent, which really isn't that common, at least for the tattooers I know very few who pay booth rent. The only time they do that is if they're like an extremely sought after tattooer and they could kind of pick whatever shop they want to. That's like a good way of getting it. Booth rent, and usually you end up making more money as a tattooer. But like as a drop, she probably gave the shop anywhere between $500 and $600 depending on what her percentage is. And then with the tips, she made $1,300. That's a great day of tattooing. You cannot beat that in tattooing. Friday the 13th, it's always one of those things where people pretend like they're too good for it. And I'm always like, bro, if you could go home with that type of cash, go home with that type of cash. It's a good day. But don't expect good tattoos. Just saying, as a client, you got a 50-50 shot, maybe. Depending on what shop you go to, percentage might be higher or lower. Be careful getting Friday the 13th tattoos next time around, but either way, have fun. It's a good time. Enjoy it. I will see you in a few days.